Hello everyone, today we have new video review and this time we are going to check fresh release from ICM. It is molded in 1/72 scale and it copies MiG-25BM. It is quite interesting fresh release, so it's a Soviet strike aircraft and now we have a commercial sample, so it will be interesting to see what is included inside, and of course you will get the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. Also, I would say, unusual stuff is this sticker carton base inside, so I wonder what is this, so it will be interesting to see it closer. First of all, box size is typical for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have nice box art as usual. Then here we have some information about the kit. So assembled model will have the wingspan of 186mm, but length will be 315mm, and there are 146 parts inside, so it's pretty much a lot, I would say, for 1/72 scale kit. And here on the side, as usual, we have profiles for the same marking option as the one depicted on the box art, so I hope there will be more. As for the box structure, it is typical for ICM, so it's a color printed top lid. I'm going to remove it. As you can see, it is quite flexible, and then we have sturdy white cardboard box which should protect everything inside, so just give me a second. Okay, so we open it, and here is what we have inside. As usual, ICM packs everything into one plastic bag, and then, whoa, we have the cardboard. So that's what is cardboard stand. That's really cool, but we'll talk about it later. First, I would like to start with these plastic sprues. Let's open them. In the meantime, let me remind you that you can support us financially. We have the donate button on our website, so you press it, you are redirected to the PayPal gate, and you choose the amount you would like to send us. All your money are used in order to improve the photo and video quality, because we are a non-profit channel, so we are growing with your help, and I really appreciate those of you who already donated at least $5. I mean, it might sound small amount, but it's really crucial for us in order to get some new equipment, some new kits, etc, etc. Okay, so first, gray plastic sprue here. As you remember, MiG-25 kit from ICM has quite unusual parts division. It should be assembled, I mean, because of the boxy silhouette, which should be assembled out of separate panels. It is not like fuselage halves or something similar. So here we have the top half, here we have bottom, here we have separate halves for the nose section, and also separate parts for the nose cone, separate halves for the fuel tank, and some parts for the main landing gear wheel wells. As for the external detailing, we have recessed panel lines and riveting, so we can zoom in, and here you can see them closer. It's really decent detailing, I would say. And if you flip them over, here inside you can see that there is like plain panel. The same applies to the nose section, because cockpit walls will be provided separately. And as for the fuel tank halves, we have guiding elements which should help you with alignment. Well, at least like this. I mean, otherwise it would be a bit tricky to combine these narrow, thin halves. Okay, next we have another gray plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to the tail section panels. So again, we have those side panels, we have also parts for the tail fins. Here we have parts for the air intakes. Those parts are for the main wheel wells, and also here we have landing gear wheels for the nose landing gear leg. Let's flip it over. Here you can see what we have in those. For example, here you can see afterburners, here we have the main landing gear wheel wells, and there is even some detailing in the air intake panels. Let's zoom in, so here you can take a look. And external detailing on the tail section as well is similar to what we saw on the fuselage parts. Here you can see another pair of tail elements. Okay, we zoom out. Let's move on. So what I'm still surprised to see in this kit is the two-piece nose cone. I mean, it's 2020 already and we still get nose cone which should be glued out of two halves, and of course it might be tricky for some modelers, and at least we have some guiding elements inside which should be helpful during this difficult process. Next we also have the parts for the engine nozzles. So here you can see those typical rings, and here we have the parts for the nozzles themselves. But as far as I know, several companies released resin upgrades for this area, so if you would like to get something more detailed, you can buy them and avoid using standard plastic parts. It is up to you, but even standard plastic offers quite decent detailing in my opinion. Next we go on with another grey plastic sprue. This one carries mix of various elements. Well, these are mainly parts for the main landing gear wheels. So here you can see them. Also landing gear legs, at least one. I guess that's a nose landing gear leg. And those are two main landing gear legs. We have also the engine nozzle tubes and some minor elements which will be placed around aircraft. We can zoom in onto the wheels. Here you can check them closer. This is decent molding quality for such small scale, but of course nobody stops you from getting some resin upgrade which will be obviously better detailed in comparison with this stuff. And here we have instrument panel. Again, I would recommend to get a PE set if you would like to have a detailed cockpit and open the canopy on your model. Next, here we go on with missiles. So missiles are provided on two similar sprues. As you can see, each one should be glued. I'm not even sure. Those are, yeah, two halves. We have here guiding pins, which will help you with alignment of those two elements together. We can zoom in a bit, so now you should be able to see it better. But molding quality is really great, and that's cool that at least something is included here. It's not like just a plain aircraft and no additional accessories and external equipment whatsoever. Next, last grey plastic sprue is dedicated to wing parts, so we can zoom out even further. Now you should be able to see it. So each wing should be glued out of two halves, each side of the wing, and it will be attached to the fuselage with help of those large tabs. I think it should be more than enough for these big parts. We have separate ailerons and flaps, and external detailing is typical, it's recessed panel lines. Inside we have guiding elements in form of the wing edge. That's also quite cool because wing edge will be, let's say, smooth. You won't have to work on it because it will repeat the panel lines on the actual aircraft. And we also have the wing edges which will also help you with the alignment of those two halves together. Next we go on with small plastic bag with canopy. Let's open it. Molding quality seems to be fine straight away. I mean, it's transparent plastic bag, so it's not difficult to evaluate what we are given here. Nevertheless, we are going to zoom in and take a closer look. Now you should be able to see it. So it's a two-piece canopy. Obviously, you will be able to open the cockpit and expose what is inside. So I would recommend to spend some time detailing the cockpit. Otherwise, you will get a really strange result. Here we have also various lenses for the lights, which is also quite cool. But note that masks are not provided, so you will have to work with your own hands or get some aftermarket set. For example, Eduard should have it. So keep it in mind. Okay. Now we move on to the cardboard base, and we have actually two options of the cardboard base. Here you can see the first one, which you saw when we opened the box, but it is also possible to flip it over, and here is what we have on the other side. It is quite thick, I would say, so still it is a decent addition for the 1/72 scale aircraft kit. Usually we don't get anything, so I really appreciate that ICM decided to include such bonus. As long as it's for free, it's really cool, right? Next we have assembly manual. Assembly manual is printed in form of typical ICM brochure, so we have color printed sheets. We have also a short history note in Russian and English, paints chart. Then we continue with parts map, and here as usual we have decals sheets. So there are 2 decals sheets. We will check them one by one, just give me a second. So first one is dedicated to main symbols. As you can see, printing quality seems to be fine. We also have decals for the instrument panel, but there are no decals for the seat belts, unfortunately. And next we have another decals sheet. This one is dedicated to stencils, and again printing quality seems to be completely fine. I don't see any possible issue with this stuff. So as for the parts map, here we have a typical format for the ICM. All unused parts are marked with red color, and as you can see there are not a lot of them. Here we have several more. Assembly process starts with cockpit, obviously, so we assemble first cockpit walls and install them into the nose section, then we assemble the front wall, then we continue with landing gear, so we assemble whole landing gear wheel well for the nose section. Next we continue with instrument panel, control stick, pilot seat, and then this stuff is installed into one of the fuselage halves. And then we join the, actually these are not fuselage halves, these are halves of the nose section, and we join them together. Then we install this separate tab which actually houses the air intakes. Here you can see an example. Each air intake should be glued out of 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Next we continue with lower fuselage panel and wheel wells, which will be installed under 90 degrees angle. Next we continue with these parts for the engine nozzles, as far as I can guess. We install the... no, these are actually ends for the air intakes, so that you won't have the throughout holes. And then this nose section is connected together with lower fuselage section. Landing gear legs here. Then we install the side panels of the fuselage and air intakes. Here we work on the engine nozzles. As I said, they should be pretty much detailed for out-of-the-box build, but if you would like to have more, search for some resin upgrade. It will be worth it. Next we continue. Also note here we have different versions for the marking options, for the various marking options. For the second you have to choose a different part, so be sure to pick the right version. We continue with the parachute container. Here we assemble wings. Install all this stuff on the fuselage, another wing again, and then we work on the nose section. That will be a bit tedious process, so be sure to get a smooth looking section of the aircraft. Here we continue with main landing gear wheels. We also assemble the front landing gear wheels. Then we have assembly for the missiles, large fuel tank which will be placed under fuselage, and front antenna, pitot tube, canopy, instrument panel, coaming panel. Here we have the canopy part, which will be, you will have to choose whether you want open or closed version, and in total it's 84 steps to do. Next we continue with stenciling guide for this aircraft. First marking option, it's a MiG-25 from Lipetsk Combat and Conversion Training Center, and here we have second and third marking option. This one is from 1987, this one is from 1984. Both are from USSR, obviously. So as I said, this kit should be already available. You can get it on official Modelimex webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, because it helps us greatly to grow, and of course it shows your appreciation. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Stay tuned, follow us on or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review. Bye.